Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live stream. Ay, ay, ay. How's everybody doing? Today wasn't as hot as it was all week. Now, I'm on the Dutch coast, so it's always like 3 or 4 degrees less warm here. Um, so yeah, quite happy with it not being so warm. Um, Still no Formula One. Are you guys missing it? Um, I'm okay. I'm enjoying this break. Um, I didn't have much inspiration to create videos, so that's why I only did one about the Cadillac lineup. But yeah, I'm sure it will come as soon as the season started again. Hello, Live My Life. Hello, Tanvir. Hello, Gentilis. Hiya, Samantha. Hello, Inge. Hello, Polish Eddie. So glad you guys could make it. So I haven't got anything prepared. I just want to have a random bit of chat. Hey, Hank. Welcome. Um, you know, if you read some news, drop it in the comments and we'll talk about it. I did organize a little bit um, about my trip to the F1 expedition in Amsterdam yesterday. Hello, Greet. Um, yeah, yesterday, well, Thursday afternoon, I discovered that my biggest customer didn't need anything produced on Friday. And that meant that I had barely anything to do. So I started early and got the bit of work that I needed to get done finished. And then I had a whole day to myself. And I decided to buy a ticket to the F1 expedition in Amsterdam. And yeah, it was fun. It took me an hour and a half to get there, which would normally be a 40-minute drive, but traffic is crazy on my part of the country. Um, and the whole expedition takes about an hour and a half, and then an hour and a half back. So it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I got back home. But yeah, it was a good, fun expedition. A lot of stuff I already knew because I watch a lot of documentaries and I read a lot of articles, but it's still good fun. Tanvir is okay. Good to know. Gentili says season's not been great, so not missing the F1 that much. Yeah, the season is like I made a video saying that the season was underwhelming. But that was because of the hype that was created before the season started. Um, Overall, we've had way worse seasons. I think as a neutral viewer, I think 2023 for not Max fans was a lot worse. We do have the hope that the McLarens are gonna get into some scraps, and it's always a surprise to see who finishes, say, um, from P10 to P4. Those are always interesting fights. But yeah, it's not the season that was promised with close racing and uh, a tight championship battle, because it's going between the two McLarens and the constructors title is already in the bag for them. So Eddie says, I miss it, but I'm glad to get some other stuff done during this break. Yes, obviously you're chickens, right? And Tanvir says, I'm catching up my lab reports in this break. Right, what's lab reports? That's stuff for your work or study. Um, Hank says it's an entertaining season. Yeah, I think there's enough happening on the technical side to make it interesting. Yeah, Tanvir's talking about the reports he has to fill in, and they're brutal. Right. Hello, Inge. Um, have you got any meet and greets planned for Zandvoort Wim? I was talking to an Italian lady today, via Threads, and I think I might meet her. But I will start organizing that closer to Zandvoort. Um, I'll do a message on my community page on YouTube, and I'll advertise it on Twitter and Threads and Blue Sky. Although I don't do much there. But yeah, I'll just post that like I'll stand at that giant wheel, and hopefully some people will come. But yeah, um, I'm not like a creator like Tomo or Law VS that will gather like 30, 40 people to chat with them. I'll be glad to be meeting 2 people um, at the Zandvoort meet and greet. But that's okay. Hank says F1 at the moment does have a regular season now. Yes, it feels like a regular season. Um, have we really had a banger race this year? Um, I think wasn't Silverstone a good race with like lots of tension and rain? It's just we had 14 races already, and my memory is not that good anymore. Japan was a banger with Max winning. Imola, the races that Max wins, they're all bangers, instant bangers. And Great says, it's a nice season. Max did some real world class things, and this with a slower car. He's showing his talent now more than ever. I agree. Like I said, the races where Max gets like a great performance, those races are instantly better because there's stuff happening and there's cars behind him going faster, trying to overtake him and stuff. Vegas says most competitive season in a minute. Yes, it is. But does it give us more exciting races and more exciting overtakes and stuff? I don't think it does. Welcome, Vegas. Maybe I'm still disappointed about Spa. That's why I think the season is not great. Well, as Max fans, we do tend to be more positive if he wins more races. That's true. Eddie says, yeah, my chickens are 3.5 months old now, so they should be popping out some eggs any day now. Yummy. And Tanvir says, Miami was one with Max defending tooth and nails, and then Imola and Suzuka. Yeah, those were fun races. Right. So, let me talk about the F1 expedition. There's been there's been one in London, I think. I think there's been one in Spain, and now this one's in Amsterdam. If you're Dutch and you want to go there, do it before the 9th of September. So that's another 3-4 weeks, and then it's done. But I made a little slideshow of a few pictures I snapped. Nothing special. Okay, so when you come in, you get this little remote control, and you press the number of the video screen you're watching, and then you get the audio of the video you're watching. Um, so in this expedition, there's about 30 screens with informative videos, and yeah, you walk through this expedition room per room, um, and then yeah, you stand in front of a wall and you see some history with Bernie Eccleston, for instance, and then it says '07, so you press '07 and play, and you put it on your ear, and then you can follow the whole video. Every screen has 2 videos playing, so yeah, you could stand there like a couple of minutes. Hello, Christina. Um, yeah, there was a lot of interesting stuff, but then again, there was a bit about Ferrari, but I was at the Ferrari museum only a month ago when I was in Italy, so I already knew what was happening there. And then Bernie Eccleston, I saw the Lucky documentary, so yeah, I knew that from start to finish. Um, but for the rest, it was amazing. It was fun. Um, so let me go to the next slide. This is a wind tunnel car. It's only 30% of the size of a regular F1 car. I jokingly said to the people around me, "Look, it's Yuki Tsunoda's car." But I don't think they understood me. They were French, I think. Yeah. So that's a wind tunnel car. Fun. This is the Toro Rosso from 2014. So it's the 09, I think. No, I'm not sure. But yeah. That was fun. And then here is me and the RB16B. Does anybody know what was special about the RB16B? Does anybody know? Hey, 22 Chad. So, what was special about the RB16B? I'm still waiting. That's the car that Max won his first championship in. Yes, yes. Okay. And does anybody know whose helmet this is? Okay, I'll give you the answer. The RB16B is the 2021 Red Bull car. It's the one that Max won his first championship in. So great, it's not the Spain car because that was 2016, and I don't know which car that was. And Polish Eddie is right. That's Jos the Boss's helmet. Red, white, and blue. And he was driving for Benetton. That's why it says Mile 7. See, Benetton. Oh, that's it. That's the 5 pictures I made. Yeah. Eddie says Max has always been proud to wear his father's design on his helmet and kept it on there. Yeah, he has a few helmets with that red, white, and blue in the same shape. So that was awesome. Oh, you had a YouTube ad constantly popping up for the last month at least, talking about that helmet. Right, so that's the bit that I prepared. Um, I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm planning for this week. I've got two scripts ready. One is about Jonathan Wheatley and Jonathan Wheatley and Christian Horner. Because a few new details came up about why Jonathan Wheatley left. And that's a video that I've been working on. That's going to be like an 8-9 minute video. And I've got another one. And it's about the Aston Martin resurgence and Zandvoort. So I'll be recording both of them tomorrow and then slowly edit them. And I'll have them out during the week. What Formula One news have we had in the past week? Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, here's a little bit about George Russell's contract. George Russell wants more than a 1+1. And Toto Wolff doesn't want to give him more than a 1+1 because of the possibility that Max might be available for the 2027 season. But George wants like a 3-year deal. And then that means that if Toto Wolff wants to get rid of him, he'll need to pay out of pocket to pay off the contract. And I actually don't blame George Russell for playing hardball like that because he's in a pretty good position to negotiate because he's been driving very well all season long. He's one of the best drivers out there at the moment, and Mercedes needs him at the moment and in 2026 as much as he needs them. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. There's a lot of money involved as well because Russell apparently wants a $30 million deal. And again, he's in a good position to negotiate. Don't know if he's worth that much money, but you aim high and maybe come out in the middle. But yeah, it'll be interesting to follow what happens with George Russell. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Hank says, looking forward to those vids. Thanks, Hank. And I'm looking forward to your comments underneath it. Eddie says, the upside down V on the mouth of Max's helmet always reminds you of Darth Vader or a Stormtrooper helmet. Okay. And the Stormtrooper helmets were based on an SS design. So, from the Nazis. Horner has finally been officially sacked and taken off the RB website. That's right. An Austrian fella has taken over the position, the various positions that Horner had. Hank says, still rumors about the boats of Wolff and Max being sighted together. No, Hank, there is actually pictures of Max on the boat with Toto Wolff. I'm going to look it up. Yeah. Toto Wolff, Max Verstappen yacht. Okay. Okay, let's screen share. Hopefully it works. No, it doesn't work. Okay, I'll remove it. And then I'll add it again. Okay, that's funky. Now we can go here. See? Toto Wolff and Max Verstappen with no clothes on. What? So yeah, if I was George Russell, I'd be nervous about that too, you know? So Eddie says, yeah, apparently there's a photo of them lounging out, shirtless. Yeah, I just showed that. Hank says, that AI crap you mean? I don't think that's AI. Christina says, I've also heard rumors about Charles with Lawrence Stroll. Okay. Hello, Mario. Yo. I did hear that Lawrence Stroll was holidaying in Israel with an Israeli girlfriend, and a lot of people were offended about that. Now, I don't want. I want to stay away from politics on my channel, so he can go on holiday wherever he wants, in my opinion. So no judgment from me. Eddie says Toto was putting in the work for a Max signature, full body oil massage. That's all that. And a rumor about potentially Lance getting sacked. Ooh, that would be interesting. And Richard says, how long will it take before Max finally races for Toto? Toto's been after him since before he started F1. Yeah, it is a possibility. I personally think that Max is going to stay with Red Bull until he finishes Formula One. I don't think Mercedes will get things running either. They have a wind tunnel that has been giving them a lot of problems, and then Aston Martin, who was using the same wind tunnel, had the same problems, and Aston Martin is going to use a new wind tunnel. It has been using a new wind tunnel from the 1st of January. So the 2026 car is developed with the new wind tunnel. So I'll talk a little bit more about this in the video that's coming up. I'm quite hopeful that Aston Martin is going to be good in 2026. Because they have Newey and a good working wind tunnel, Honda engines. So I think around this time next year we'll be having a discussion whether Max will go to Aston Martin or Mercedes or he will stay with Red Bull, you know. But then at least we know how things are going in the 2026 regulations. Christina says that was Lance. I don't know if his father was also there. Oh, wait a minute, Christina. Wait. Wait a minute. I don't see your comment anymore, Christina. You heard rumors about Charles and Lawrence Stroll. I didn't make that connection. But that would mean that Charles is leaving Ferrari. I can't see that happening. Charles, not in red. No. Oh, Vegas has a rumor. There's a rumor that Lance has to finish the season P10 or better. Ah. And that's why he's having all these hissy fits, yelling in the garage and, yeah, being grumpy. And Great says that all depends on the car for 2026 and maybe the merchandising contract. Yeah, I think you're talking about Max staying at Red Bull. And Christina says Lance is not that bad this year. No, but I think as the car starts getting better, and the car is getting better with a new front nose and just overall better, and that's why they finished P5, P6 in Hungary. I think you'll see that Alonso will keep out qualifying him and then get the better race results in as well. I mean, they're now level at points on points, but I think Alonso will show his class better in a better car. So, Hank says, I don't believe Max will ever race for Toto, at least not in F1. And Tanveer says, wait, let me check. What are you going to check, Tanveer? And Richard says, I expect Lewis Hamilton to leave Ferrari before Charles. Yeah, I see that happening earlier as well. But then again, Charles maybe wants to put pressure on the team, saying, look, I'm done with this shit for 7 years. If you don't fix all your issues, I'm going to go to Aston Martin. But Charles finally in a winning car. A lot of tifosi wish for him to leave Ferrari. Wow. They must really love him to want him to leave Ferrari for better results. And Inge says, funny, we're like a bunch of gossip girls. We are. Because a lot of times there's a little bit of truth in it. That's what we like about it. Okay. What other news do we have? I'm checking Twitter again. I'm just going to go to Planet F1. Ralf Schumacher. Yeah, the evolution of Aston Martin. Oh, I have to bookmark this. Apparently, Portimao is in talks with Formula One again to return in 2027. Is Portimao a fun track? I don't remember racing there. Mm-hmm. Oh, 2021. Oh. Gentili says Portimao is a beautiful track. Christina says Portugal GP back on the calendar. Nice elevation changes. And Inge says Estoril, please. Yeah, Portuguese circuit looked good. Didn't see any racing there. Oh, I got a DM. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Hank says that rumor about Portimao I heard, it gave decent racing in 2021. The tarmac was fresh and oily, and it drizzled. Put a comma between good and racing. Hello, S Yoko. Welcome. Okay, so we've all voted that Portimao should come back. Cool. We don't have any oh, I clicked it away. We don't have any Australians among us at the minute, as far as I know. Like Marie B is asleep, and hey, Mavadelo, did you change your name? The Lonely Cyclist, or is that a different account? Anyway, welcome, Mavadelo. Apparently, Daniel Ricciardo has been to hospital after a minor accident on a dirt bike. So, just wanted to share that. A lot of Formula One drivers get hurt cycling or being on motorbikes. Okay. Nice, Mavadelo. I'll tell all my cycling friends about it. Is it like wielrennen or just simple cycling? Okay. I'm just gonna find some more news. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of talk about Lewis Hamilton. Nico Rosberg says that Ferrari should listen to what Lewis Hamilton has to say in the documents that he sent. But Nico Rosberg doesn't like Lewis Hamilton, so it could be like a reversed script where he says Ferrari should listen because he knows that won't do any good. You know, it's like reverse psychology. Normal cycling, Mavadelo. Yeah, I'll give it a look. Lonely Cyclist. Yeah, so everybody is chipping in on Lewis Hamilton. I was never surprised about how this season went. It's actually exactly what I predicted. And I'll give you a prediction for next season. Next season will be very strange in how they have to distribute their battery over a whole lap. And I think Max, with his sim racing qualities and his ability to jump from a GT car into a supercar or hybrid car or whatever, into a Formula One car, and then with sim racing he drives anything as well. I think he'll adapt to that very quickly, whereas Lewis Hamilton has only driven Formula One cars in the last 15, 20 years. And he's struggling. He's been struggling with adapting to the ground effect, and these new cars. They will have a little bit of ground effect still left, and then yeah, all these sort of weird artificial um, appliances to get through a lap without having to shift back and whatever. I don't think Lewis Hamilton will adapt to that very well. So he's going to struggle the whole 2026 season, and then he's going to say adios. I also read that if he wants to stay the 2027 season, Ferrari can't sack him. That's something he has in his contract. That if he leaves after 2026, it's his decision and not Ferrari. So that's quite a bit of a stretch. Um, it's quite impressive that he got that organized. Hey, I'm seeing an ad and I can still see myself. That's great, YouTube. Well done. Vegas says Nico is in form lately. Yeah, I like Nico Rosberg and I like Jacques Villeneuve because they're not typically British biased and they just say whatever they want. Lonely Cyclist says, my worry is not Max, it is the Red Bull powertrains and Ford. I think they're going to be okay. They're not going to be shit. I don't think so. Inge is afraid of Harrison Ford. Han Solo. Vegas, are you talking about Nico Hulkenberg? No, we're talking about Nico Rosberg. Christina says Alcon thinks Lewis will help Ferrari to build a dominant car in the cost cap era, which I find hilarious. Yeah, I find that hilarious too. His performance dropped after the cost cap was introduced. That's another thing. But also, Alcon might be saying all these things, yes, but the boost that the stock went up, he already benefited from that. And after that, I don't think he cares all that much. And it's the same with all this noise about, Ferrari having to change the car to Lewis Hamilton's liking, and Charles just saying, I'll just drive whatever I get. I don't think deep down they are changing towards Lewis Hamilton too much. They just pretend to do that just to keep Lewis Hamilton happy and away from the media, complaining to the media too much. Hank says Ford is just assisting, and in my opinion, just financially. No, I think Ford is doing the electronics as well, the electronic part of the engine. As Yoko says, Nico is actually honest, but I think sometimes he says something to keep Sky happy. Yeah, well, they're all employed by Sky Sports F1, so yeah, it makes sense that they appease to their audience once in a while. Gentili says, historically, Ford is one of the most successful F1 engine suppliers. Yeah, Cosworth, that's all Ford, isn't it? However, historic results are no guarantee for the future. True. Okay, so the S is in S Yoko stands for Savak. Because I'm scanning this chat here and I'm like, who did I miss? Who did I miss? Oh, Christina, are you keeping an eye on the Ferrari stocks? Yeah. So they're going down now. Um, I can't follow everything. Vegas says there's an LH team within Ferrari, still in house, but more tuned to Lewis. Yeah, that's probably his side of the garage. And then a few supporters. Okay, let me go to more news. Um, Juan Pablo Montoya is always negative about Max Verstappen. Probably because Juan Pablo Montoya doesn't like Jos because he drove into the back of him. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Ooh, the Las Vegas Grand Prix is getting a major 20 million investment. Let me see who the sponsor is. Mm. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority Board. Oh, nice. Hello, Marie. Are you Marie B or just Marie? Yeah, it could be a different Marie. Mm-hmm. What else? Carlos Sainz is very happy that Laurent Mekies is leader of the Red Bull F1 team. He says he's a real professional, and he knows him from his Ferrari days. Okay. I'm reading here that Mick Schumacher might have a split job at Cadillac. Reserve driver and driving in the endurance for Cadillac. Also interesting. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I know something cringeworthy. Oh no. So, Marie, are you from Australia? Because we have an Australian subscriber called Marie B, and she always joins us. Vegas says legacy greed. Sir Lewis is chasing eternity. Okay. And Yoko says, Wimbo, are you going to Zandvoort? Yes, I'm going to Zandvoort. And I'm going all by myself to save money. Samantha can stay at home and we'll go away for a weekend for the money that we're saving. Because these seats are not cheap. They're 400 euros. And then there's the train tickets and then there's the food there. I'm only going on the Saturday and the Sunday. I'm skipping the Friday because, yeah, there's people on holiday in our business. You know, staff is on holiday. And I can't take the day off. So, Marie's a Kiwi. Go, Liam. So yeah, but I'm going to Zandvoort and I'll be vlogging the 2 days. You know, I'll just record bits here and there, and I have editing software on my phone, so I can sort of prepare on the train back. And then I come home and I chuck it in my computer and then do whatever needed and then upload it. So it'll be light edited. Yes? Not as fancy as my long vlog. Um, I'll do that this week. I'll make a post of the vlog that Samantha and I made for the Zandvoort Grand Prix last season. That's a 25-minute full video of all the experiences we had. And it's fun. Hey, Vegas. Thank you for your support. You're amazing, Vegas. You always make it worth my while. Yoko, there are tickets left, but it's for seats. I can't remember where I'm sitting. You know, not in the most expensive seats because you know the pit straight is like 625 euros. But my tickets were 370 euros, and then taxes and all that, it was like 400 euros. Great, Zandvoort is not sold out. Samantha might know what seat I have. I can never remember. Oh yeah, hairpin one. Hairpin one. That's where I'm sitting. Because I looked at the map and I can see them going through a turn, and then they drive past you. I think that's how I remember it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be 2 weeks from now exactly. So no live stream 2 weeks from now on Saturday. I'm going to be rooting for Max. If Lando steals another home race win, I'm going to be pissed. Hank says the Tarzan corner. Well, I'll tell you something about Lando and Oscar Piastri. Apparently, McLaren has been discussing already how to celebrate to hey, the Lonely Cyclist, did you just become a member? Now you're a member on 2 channels, Mavadelo. Oh, I'm going to promote the hell out of your channel just to help, okay? And I can help you with a bit of editing as well if you need. Just send me an email and we can get into contact. Oh yeah, Lando and Oscar. So McLaren has been discussing how to celebrate and how the loser wants the winner to celebrate to not cause any too much frustration. And I think that's the most coddled, strange way of doing things. Hello, Marie, and welcome to my members community. So nice of you to join. And then level 2 as well. Amazing. But yeah, check out all the extra videos I made. You'll enjoy it. I don't know what to say. Like for months go by and I don't get any new members, and now all of a sudden 2 at once. Yeah. Super nice. Super nice. So guys, what do you think of what I just explained about McLaren like being a helicopter mom for their 2 drivers? Like did Mercedes do that for Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton? You know, discuss like, oh Nico, what are you gonna do when Lewis Hamilton wins the championship? Or I think it's such a weird thing to do, but yeah, that's just me. I don't see many reactions about it. Thank you, Tanveer. It does feel weird. Christina, Everything about McLaren managing their drivers is weird. Yes, I agree. I hate the papaya rules. It kills the racing. I know McLaren has a very young driver lineup, but this is really babysitting. Yeah, coddling. Um, Oscar and Lando are going to crash, inevitably. Well, I'm not sure. Um, I'm not sure that they're going to crash. I've heard Lando Norris say that if he doesn't win the championship, he'll not be too upset because in 200 years we'll all be dead and nobody will remember it. And I think that's such a bad take because your whole life is around Formula One and you get the opportunity to become a world champion. And then to say, yeah, if I don't win it, then yeah, whatever. It doesn't feel right either. Lando is probably happy with this babying, but Oscar will not like it for long. Now, I think the best case scenario for an exciting season is if Lando lucks out and wins 2 races in a row. That he wins Zandvoort and the next one. And then Oscar's behind. Because I think the knives will come out when Oscar is behind in the standings. And I think he'll become way more ruthless and yeah, way better. Hey, Vegas just upgraded to level 3. Thank you so much, Vegas. I don't know what's happening. Did you know I was thinking about maybe skipping doing a live stream today? You know, because it's a summer break and I thought nobody was going to show up. Now I've got 2 new members and I've got an upgraded membership. It's amazing. Can't believe it. It's just what we needed. So, Vegas, again, thank you so much. Lonely Cyclist says, Lando lacks championship attitude. If he ever becomes driver's championship, it's because of pure luck. Yeah, he needs a lot more luck than Oscar, that's for sure. And Gentile says, Lando can't handle any pressure, it seems. So he just downplays everything. Very nihilistic. Yeah. See, when Max said in 2021, if I'm not going to win the championship tonight, then it'll not change my life. But we know he fights for every inch. Hey, another member! Inge! Wow! I don't know what's happening tonight. I have to change all my end screens now. Inge, welcome to my community. And yeah, check out the extra videos Samantha and I made. Eddie says, I think Lando was just trying to show people that he's relaxed and not stressing about it too much. But it didn't hit the way he wanted it to, I guess. No, I'm not going to buy a lottery ticket. You're my lottery ticket, Samantha. Yeah, I also agree with Eddie. The greats will never be forgotten. Tanvir says, I mean, I show up here as it's the only place where I can talk about F1. Well, that's one of the reasons why I did have the live stream, you know? Because it has been so quiet and yeah, my regular subscribers they like these live streams. Gentile says, I get a bit of Lewis Hamilton vibes from Lando, but at least Lewis Hamilton is a great driver that can handle pressure. But he has the same disingenuous air. Yeah. And when Lewis or Lando, the 2 L's, when they start feeling low, then they just moan and suffer in front of the camera. And when they get sort of pissed off, they get really pissy about it, saying stuff like, "Oh, Max doesn't have any good teammates," or when Max won in in Brazil, Lando said, "Yeah, getting the right safety car. It's not racing; it's just luck." So yeah, I do agree that Lando and Lewis are very similar in that sense. They're just English wankers sometimes. What can I say? Hank says 22 people in the chat. Yeah. Well, my record is 31. But I think we're going to get those numbers again after the summer break when things liven up again. But I'm happy enough with 22 people. I see I've only got 5 more minutes until it's 9 o'clock. So if you guys have a little topic, then, if any questions, then I'll be happy to answer. And if not, then I'll be saying goodbye very shortly. Keep an eye out on those 2 videos. All my new members, check out the special member videos and the quest that I've started. There'll be an update on that soon. I try to do a special video every month, but I didn't do one in July because I was on holiday. Yeah, and I'll be doing a live stream again next weekend, next Saturday. But the weekend after that, I won't be doing it because then I'll be in Zandvoort. Christina says those British drivers are sore losers, but also sore winners. Yeah. Oh, Inge said, I asked about Colapinto. Any news? Yeah, the crash he had during the tire test wasn't that bad. He was checked, by the medical car because there was enough G forces that forced him to take this test. But he was okay. And I've also, bye Yoko, I've also read that he can finish the season, but it's going to be a lot different for next season because Valtteri Bottas might be going to Alpine. And I think that would be, well, for Alpine, a pretty good choice. Gasly and Bottas. And then Cadillac will have Joe and Perez for the money. So, Gentile says, I think Jenson Button is the last likable British driver. Yeah. Alex Albon is half British. He's also nice. So far, I like Ollie, but he has the potential to grow into a George Russell, which isn't good. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about Colapinto. I think he's going to finish the season with no points, and he'll be out of Formula One. I think Briatore has made a deal where he gets that sponsor money if Colapinto finishes the season, and then it's over and out. So, because Briatore is a businessman above all. Bye, Marie. And I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody because it's almost 9 o'clock. So, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for becoming members. And yeah, I'll see you all in the comments of my next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.